FDR, World War II.
Franklin Roosevelt served the President of the United States for all but for 4 months of World War II, leading the country throughout one of the most consequential periods in history. Under Roosevelt's leadership, the nation rebounded from the devastating surprise attack of Pearl Harbor in December 1941, nearly achieving victory in both Europe and Pacific. By the time Roosevelt suddenly died on April 12, 1945, he was succeeded by his Vice President Henry S. Truman. Roosevelt was one of the most influential presidents of all time.
FDR led the U.S. from isolationism to victory over Nazi Germany and the Allies from World War II. He spearheaded the successful wartime alliance between Britain, the Soviet Union, and the U.S. had helped by the groundwork for the post-war peace organization that would become the United Nations.
FDR's 10 accomplishments.
He served as governor of New York from 1929 to 1932. FDR is the longest-serving president in the history of the United States. He arrested financial panic through the Emergency Banking Act. The FDIC was established through the 1933 Banking Act. Roosevelt set up many important institutions as a part of his first New Deal. The U.S. Social Security system was created during his presidency. He established national minimum wage through the Fair Labor Standards Act. He took the first federal action to prohibit employment discrimination. Along with Churchill installing, FDR led the Allied coalition to victory in World War II, and he played a major role in the creation of the United Nations.
Hi, I'm Pam Snyder here today with Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Thank you for having me here, Pam.
Thank you for coming. So, tell me about your early years, what it was like growing up.
Oh, Pam, I was so sick that my parents held off for naming me for 2 months because they thought I was going to die.
Oh, okay. So Franklin, on to the next topic. What makes your relationship with your mother so strong?
It was her unshakable faith that gave me confidence in later in life to succeed.
So, I know you're a busy man with a big schedule of being president and all, but how did your interest in politics come about?
Well, my interest in politics came about from the success of my cousin Theodore Roosevelt, who became president while still attending school. And after I graduated Columbia, I already carved my path to the presidency.
Well, isn't that wonderful? Now tell me, Franklin, how was it like having the first 100 days of your presidency?
Although some say I did not take the banking crisis of the Hoover administration as seriously as I should have, I thought the banking stock would have actually collapsed.
Stamp collecting was one of FDR's lifelong hobbies. His interest began when he was 8 years old, and his mother passed his collection on to him. He enjoyed stamps, he said, because of their link with geography and history, not their intrinsic value. While recovering from polio, he spent his bedridden hours arranging and annotating thousands of specimens. As president, there was scarcely a say when he did not spend some time with stamp collecting. At his death, his personal stamp collection numbered over 1,200,000 stamps, 80% of which was little value scrap, as the president called it. That stamp collecting was solid at public auction in accordance with his wishes and realized $228 million. The stamps he received officially from foreign governments were not solid but are a part of the Holding Roosevelt Library.
Well, I'm Franklin D. Roosevelt, and I approve this message. Well, let you finish. But don't vote for him. Vote for Theodore Roosevelt. No! Oh my God!
The New Deal was a series of programs and policies of relief, recovery, and reform to combat the effects of the Great Depression during the presidency of Franklin D. Roosevelt. The New Deal fell into 2 stages relating to the dates the programs were initiated. The first deal encompassed national planning, laws, and programs for the improvised from 1933 to 1934. The second New Deal covered the period from 1935 through 1939 and focused on social reform together with policies and programs to speed up the nation's recovery. The New Deal programs helped all Americans and provided jobs for millions of people. Many New Deal programs will still continue today. Franklin D. Roosevelt was the 32nd American president who served in the office from March 4th, 1933 to April 2nd, 1945. One of the most important events during his presidency was the New Deal. The Yalta Conference and FDR's death.
In February, after he made his fourth term in the White House, he met Churchill and Stalin in the Yalta Conference, where Roosevelt got sailing commitment to enter the war against Japan and Germany's impending surrender.
After he returned from the Yalta Conference, he was so weak he was forced to sit down while addressing Congress for the first time in his presidency. April 12, Roosevelt suffered a massive cerebral hemorrhage. When he died, his vice president, Harry Truman, took over.
I was looking to play any part in the